Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another video. In this episode, I have Pratiksha. Pratiksha was our community member, our channel subscriber a year ago. From then, she came to United States. Now she is a graduate or master student in UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and she's a master's in computer science student. I reached out to her, and she's more than happy to share her experience and journey with us, with our community. She talks about life in UMBC. She talks about tuition fees, living cost, roommates, her tricks and tips for finding internship. Yes, she got an internship. This is her second semester. So she talks about how she got the internship, what was her job search look like, what was her internship search look like. So we talk a lot about valuable stuff. She also talks about the coursework, professors, and on-campus jobs. So a lot of fun things we talk about. I've split this video into two parts, so make sure you come back tomorrow to check out the second part or the last part of this video series where Pratiksha talks about her internship search technique and how she finds her internship. Pratiksha, if you're watching this, thank you so much for doing this. It means a lot to me and to our community. I will also leave her contact information in the description, so if you want, or if you have questions and if you want to talk to her, please reach out to her on Instagram or LinkedIn. Also, if this video provides any value to you or your career, please leave a like or comment. That means a lot to me and it encourages me to make more valuable content for you. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing to this channel. And now I'll let you watch the conversation. Thank you, Pratiksha, for doing this. We've been talking since, I don't know, I don't even remember, for a year and a half now, before you came to United States, and now we kept in touch, and I'm so glad I reached out to you. It's like, hey, let's tell people your story and also talk about University of, how do you say it? Baltimore?
University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
Yes, that UMBC. I just know UMBC. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun. I'm so excited to share your journey. But let's get started with, for the people who don't know you, who you are and where are you from in India and what do you do? What are you doing right now in United States?
Yeah. So I'm from Jaipur, India, and currently I'm doing my master's in computer science at UMBC, which is University of Maryland, Baltimore County. So I landed here last year in 2019. So I started last year fall. And after coming here, this is my second semester, which is also coming to an end right now. Also, I gave my GRE while I was working in India. So I worked in India for approximately 1.5 years, and
So
almost
let
close
me
to
ask,
2 years. Yeah.
yeah, let me ask you this. What did you do your bachelor's in? And when did you do that?
Yeah. So I finished my bachelor's in 2017 in electronics and communication engineering.
Right.
And the same year, I got placed in Accenture, so I started working there the same month. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
In Accenture, what was your job role?
So I was a developer. I was working with .NET and Angular. So initially it was a front-end development job, and then gradually I like shifted to DevOps because the company got adopted to the DevOps culture. So I was doing the DevOps job, and then
I'm gonna go off track
yeah.
a little bit because I didn't know this part, so Pratiksha, I'm sorry if I threw you off track. I'm very interested in DevOps. My company has it as well. For people who don't know, like don't understand what is DevOps, because I think you and me know what it is since you worked on it, and I work with release engineers all the time. What is DevOps? If you have to explain it in a very simple language.
Yeah, so DevOps is basically a combination of development and operations. So if you have to synchronize the development team and the operations team, in that case, we adopt the DevOps culture. So we want that when we are merging the code, we are integrating the code.
Yeah.
So we want that the code is automated and it's built automated. And whenever the testing team finds some bugs, so everything is happen in the automation scripts. So there is a sync between the development team and the operations team so that the developers don't have to worry about any clashes with the operations team and the right thing is goes to the production environment. So that is the overview of DevOps.
Yes, makes me so happy that you know this because I can relate to it. I work with DevOps all the time since
Mm-hmm.
I'm a software development manager, so I work with them and developers are like, it's not my fault. It's you talk to RE team or
Yeah,
some
exactly. That's the
they
point.
probably broken the build or something like that. So yeah. So okay, back to you were in Accenture for how long as a software developer?
Yeah, so I joined in 2017 and then I left Accenture in 2019 April. I left actually 4 months early before coming to the US because I wanted to be prepared for the US.
Yeah.
Since I'm from electronic background, even though I have a work ex in IT, but still I wanted to be because there's so much competition out there. So I just wanted to prepare myself for everything before just coming here and then of course spend time with my family for those 4 months. Yeah.
Nice, nice. And so, what was your GRE score and TOEFL score?
Oh, the big question. So yeah, my GRE score was not that high. It was 302, and my TOEFL was 99.
I,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was high. I had 294. You had 302. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So when I got the score, I was so depressed. I was like, people are getting 320, 325, and so easily. Is this the score I'm supposed to get? And will I even get admitted in some good universities? So I was in a dilemma at that point of time. And then I gave GRE again actually, and I scored one score less. I was like, this is not happening because every time, actually, the verbal part, I don't know why I used to score less in that area, even though.
That's
So,
surprising to me because your English is better than I mean I don't know your math, but I feel like your but
yeah,
anyway,
no,
yeah,
actually, I scored good at maths. Yeah.
that's
So then I figured out, I think speaking only doesn't matter. You should have the patience to read those big paragraphs and then sit in that examination hall, and under that pressure, you're able to attempt all those questions. Everything matters. So,
Yes, yes. But moral of the story is, even though you got 302, you still had UMBC, and I'm sure you had other colleges, and that's my
yeah.
next question. What colleges did you apply to? Rejects, admits.
Yeah, so I applied to 8 colleges. So when I gave my first GRE, I actually applied to a lot of ambitious colleges like UMCP and University of California, Irvine, and all those colleges. But when I got my score, I was like, I have to shortlist my universities very wisely because otherwise I don't want to fall into trap. I want to regret that I didn't apply to the right universities. So I applied to then Stony Brook, ASU, IIT Chicago, University of Illinois Springfield, of course UMBC and UTD. So I got rejects from 2 universities out of 8, and also from ASU I applied for CS, but I got IT, and they were offering me 3 prerequisites since I'm from an EC background.
Got
So
it.
I didn't go for ASU, and UMBC was the only university, surprisingly, which was not offering me any prerequisite. I was so happy. That's why I just straight away went on with UMBC.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So, was that the only? I was going to ask you, was that the only reason, or what was your thought process of selecting UMBC?
Yeah, so initially, I have a friend of mine who told me about UMBC because he has a friend who studies there. So I had good feedback from his friend, and he told me that the tuition is all right, and you'll be able to manage your own funds because UMBC has a lot of assistantships available in terms of graduate assistantships or teaching assistantships. So it should not be a problem. And overall, it's a research university mainly. So a lot of good research is going on in AI, ML, computer vision, all that stuff. So that really impressed me. And then I reached out to a lot of seniors on LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever I could, Yocket also. And then everyone gave me a positive feedback. So kind of everything was working in my favor. So I went ahead with UMBC.
Very nice. I am so happy that you made that choice. And let's talk about visa interview. How was it? Like, was it quick? 1 minute, 40 seconds, 30 seconds?
So actually, the amount of time we were standing in the line, and when we reached there and actually the interview happened, we were like, it's like 5:1 or something. Uh, we were in the sun outside, standing all the time, waiting for the interview to happen. Finally, it happened. It was like just a blink of an eye, interviews.
Done.
It's
Yeah.
over. So I was just asked 2 3 questions, mainly like how my job experience relates to my course what I'm going to study in the US, and also how I'm going to able to be manage the finances. That was the main important question, like 2 3 questions. And then they were satisfied with me, I guess, because then she was passing me smiles and all. But then in the end she didn't say anything like it's accepted or rejected. She didn't tell me anything, or she didn't even give me a note, where some people say that they get a note like some color note, they understand it's a reject or an acceptance, I don't know. So but then yeah, in a few days I got to know that I've been accepted for visa, and I was like, yay.
Well, I think the big sign is that if they don't take your passport, if they give you back your passport, then that's a sign.
Yeah, I took it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, awesome. So how is UMBC? How do you like it? What was your big culture shock when you landed here?
I don't think there's a cultural shock as such. Like, I feel like in India also we watch a lot of American series, and and if your cousins and your someone from your family is there in the US, then you can sort of relate. When you talk to them, they tell you something like, this is happening and all that. So for me, it was not a lot of cultural shock, but actually I'm liking it here, the education system mainly, because I have the flexibility of choosing the courses. I've not been told that you have to just take these courses even if you're not interested. If you're
Yeah.
sleeping in the class, that's okay. You are paying for sleeping. I don't. So I was like, okay, like I got here, and first of all, so I would like to thank the Indian Association a lot for UMBC. Like they helped us a lot in the transition from India to the US. Because so in the beginning, they also provided us temporary housing at like their own places, and
Nice.
they cooked
How
food
do
for
you
us
get
and
in touch?
everything.
How
Yeah.
do you get in touch? How do you get in touch with them?
So there was a Facebook post which said that if you have been admitted to UMBC and you plan to come here, then you need to join this WhatsApp group. So I just joined that group. And in that way, I was able to come into contact with all these seniors who are already studying here, and some of the other students. And those students also guided me for courses, like what courses should I select in my first semester, or how should I plan on taking the courses, like what core courses should I take first, and what electives are good and all that. So it was beneficial in a way. And also, when we reached the US, they sent a bus, like a big bus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, so there were members from the IES team, from UMBC. Like there was one person from that, and then there was one person from 2 3 people from the Indian Association,
Mm.
yeah, community. So they helped us, carrying all our luggages and
Yeah.
everything, like making us feel at home, like there is someone waiting for you at the airport. You're not alone who have
That
landed
is,
there.
yeah, that is so nice. We did that too when I was at Chico State president. We organized the same thing. We had a Google spreadsheet and everyone was allocated like who's going to be driving, who's going to be picking up. It was so much fun like when we were doing
Exactly.
it because we're like 25 students coming in and a lot of them we were trying to tell them like only come in 3 in a batch or 4 in a batch because then we'll have to get a bigger bus and then there's a different types of driver license you need and things like that.
Yeah.
No, I can, it's very nostalgic because I can relate to what you are saying. And it's so nice that they are doing that. Not a lot of colleges have
Yeah.
that. I know most of the colleges will have Indian Student Association, and luckily your college does have that. I was going to ask you how did you find when I said cultural difference, it was more like educational cultural differences. But so
Yeah.
did you have like a big cultural shock, or you were very passionate about coding, so you were like, I don't, this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah, so when I completed my undergrad and I joined Accenture, then I gained the IT experience. I was doing hands-on the live projects of the company, so I kind of gained more interest in there. And
Mm.
also, so during my undergrad, I was a part of robotics club. So I've been a very much robotics enthusiast. So I carried that on. So I got into IoT, and from there I gained a lot of interest in cloud as well. So now, like in my coming days, while I'll be interning, I'll be working in cloud only. So
We will get to your internship, but I'm gonna ask you IoT. What is IoT for people who don't know?
Yeah, so IoT is Internet of Things. So that means whatever sensors you are using everywhere in the world. So whatever data you are collecting from those sensors, you can use that data to process it and get some sort of output. So that data can be in the form of signals, in the form of binary inputs, anything. So Internet of Things is basically any device which is connected to the internet and it's collecting some sort of data and you're using it to generate something or maybe, analyze something.
Yeah, for example, this watch right here has a
Yeah.
lot of sensors on it, collecting a lot of my steps, and people, sorry, people can, make sure, like they can do predictive analysis, like, oh, based on this much exercise, you can
Mhm.
live 50 years or so, whatever. So big
Yeah.
kind, I'm just trying to, make it very layman language so people understand what is Internet of Things. Yeah,
Right.
no, it was very fascinating to me. I had option to choose it, but I did not. Luckily, I'm so glad I did not. I don't know where I would be. I'm glad I went in project management because I love it. So let's talk about your coursework because that is something I'm starting to deep dive into. What was your first semester like, and what was your coursework like? And talk about like UMBC coursework, education. Like, is it worth it? Like, do you like studying there? What's the professors like? Sorry, I asked you like a lot of questions.
Yeah, that's okay. So basically, in UMBC, if you're a computer science student, you need to choose three core courses, which are the mandatory courses, and you can do it over the period of the 2 years whenever you want. If you take one, you can take one course subject per semester, or two, or even three. But that's a lot of work because core subjects are definitely
Hardcore.
a bit more tough as compared to the other elective courses. So you need to take three core courses and one depth course. So in depth course, it can be either machine learning or AI or computer networks, these sort of courses. And the rest of the courses can be electives. So electives can be either combined classes where you study with the undergrads, or it can be just graduate level classes. So that was the overview of course structure in UMBC. And
Yeah.
yeah, so
How's professors like? Do you like the teaching style? Do you like the assignments? Tell us about assignments.
yeah, the main part. So I would say professors here are really like very helpful, first of all. Like if you go to their office hours, they are there to help you whenever you want. And right now with this COVID thing, I can see that everyone is impacted by it. But irrespective of where they are, they're trying to help us in whatever way they can.
Yeah.
By even extending sometimes the deadlines for the assignments where they know that for students it might be difficult to it can be any circumstance. And
Yeah.
also for final exams also they have this time given us like 24 hours to finish the exam, like open book exams and all that, because there can be connectivity issues with some people.
Yeah.
And overall, the teachers are very good over here. Like they're very informative, knowledgeable, I would say, and they're always ready to help whenever you want them. So yeah, I'm super happy with UMBC.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. We're gonna get into UMBC, the life in UMBC, but I wanted to tell you that. So I'm working on this video assignments in United States, like trying to make it a little funny and cinematic, like how assignments in India are, and it's so drastically different. And
Exactly.
you just said something which is just made me realize that I need to add that, which is open book exams. We don't have that in India. We kind of have it, but it's called cheating. So,
Yeah,
so
that's
but
yeah,
over here,
that
professors
is
are like very
that is a self thing. Like you have taken the exam as open book.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's not open book, but open like notes, sticky
yeah,
notes.
correct.
So yeah.
So here the assignments they are like project level. Like every assignment is at that level of being a project.
Okay, now I want to get into that. So let's give me one example, the class which you took in your first semester, and a example of an assignment. What classes did you take in your first semester?
Yeah. So in my first semester, I took algorithms. I I took service oriented computing and data science.
Okay, so I Okay, let's take an example of data science assignment, one of the assignment or project. Did you have projects or did you have 5 assignments?
So we had assignments initially, and then in the end, we were either supposed to do a group project or an individual project. So I did a group project. So yeah, so every assignment, it's like you're working on some real life scenario. Like we were asked to work with Open Baltimore data set, and we were asked to analyze it and cleaning the data, processing the data, and then eventually forming models and all that. So if you do the assignments, very genuinely,
Yeah.
like you actually do the assignments by yourself and you put your heart and energy, everything in that, you would know that how industry works, and it can give you a head start of how things in the real world work if you actually do the assignments by yourself and genuinely do it. Then I would say, yeah.
I cannot agree more 100%. If I think there has a case, my own example where I took we had 5 assignments and then we had a final exam. I did not give final exam because all the assignments I scored like A or whatever, like full marks. So I was like, I knew that even if I fail the final exam, I'm still going to pass the class with full like A minus or something. So I was like, yeah, doesn't matter. So because I had an interview, so that's why I needed to go. So yeah, so I and final like professors themselves, like you said, it's an open book. So the more you focus on assignments, the better you get out of it. Which you just said, like they gave you a data set of Baltimore, and then you have to process it. That's exactly what we do in my office. Like we have healthcare product, and we get so much data, then we send this to data analytics team, and then they ask us so many questions which drives me nuts, but sometimes but yeah, so they clean the data, then they process it, and then they'll give us some like heat maps or things like that, and then they're like, you should do this or you should do this and things like that, whatever. I don't get it. Data scientist ka job yahi hota hai, fault nikalna. Sometimes I feel like sometimes they're
Right.
doing this right, maybe you should do this.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's awesome. How's fee structure? Let's talk about fees of UMBC.
Yeah, so fee structure, I would say for one semester, we get around 11,000 something US dollars. So you can calculate for all the 4 semesters how it's going to be. And also in the last semester, we don't take 3 courses. That also depends whether you're doing a thesis or you're going for a project. So,
So 44,000 so let's round it up to 40,000 into 7, 28, 28 lakhs, somewhere around 20 lakh. What's the cost of living?
yeah, so living basically depends what area you're staying in. Like where I'm staying, the rent is around like $300 approximately.
Hmm.
And if you cover all the extra charges like Wi-Fi and food and XYZ, then it comes to like $500 to $600 maximum. And also depends how your like spending habits, like how where you spending and how you're.
And clubs and drinks and bars and all. So
So it
yeah,
depends. Yeah, like if you're spending it for good for education, that's good enough. But also depends where you're spending it.
yeah.
So yeah,
And,
like
and,
overall,
and
it's pretty.
300
Yeah.
and 300, is that 300 for your personal bedroom or do you share your
No, it's
bedroom?
sharing. It's sharing. So for personal, it would be more than 500. Like it'll be double the cost.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I usually like to ask that because I had a very luxurious life as a student in Chico. I had only $225 for my
Oh,
own personal bedroom.
that
So
too in California.
that too in California, yeah. Yeah, so okay, so the total amount, if we had to kind of calculate, throw a rough figure, you said 600 for 1 month, about so 24 months would have been, I don't know, I'm horrible at math, you're good at math, so 72, 140, 10,000, 15,000, 60,000, 70,000, 17 to 70, 40 lakhs, around 40 lakhs,
Yeah,
40.
around 30 to 40 lakhs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And on-campus jobs, you talked about it a little bit. You touched on it. Let's talk about that. What's the opportunities for students if they decide to come to UMBC? Do we have that? And if they do, what kind of money they make?
Yeah.